大家好，欢迎来到跟陈老师学汉语第4课。他是我的汉语老师。In this lesson, we'll learn 3 short Chinese conversations, and then we'll learn Chinese pinyin rules. Next, we'll learn shui, 哪儿, ne, and de. Last is the reading practice. The first conversation. 他是谁？他是我的汉语老师，他叫李月。他 is pronoun, means she or her. 谁 is also a pronoun, means who or whom. The is a particle. It is used after an attribute. 汉语 it's a noun, means Chinese language. Han, it means Han ethnic group in China. Yu, it means language. Together, Han language, so Chinese language. This conversation is about asking a question with who. I'll explain it in detail later in this lesson. The second conversation. 你是哪国人？我是英国人。你呢？我是中国人。The first new word, 哪 it's a pronoun, means which. It has another meaning which means where. We'll learn it in the future lessons. 国 it's a noun, means country or nation. Ne is a particle. It also has several meanings. In this conversation, it is used at the end of a question. I'll explain it later in the lesson. The third conversation. 他是谁？他是我的同学。他呢？他是你的同学吗？他不是我的同学，他是我的朋友。他 it's a pronoun, means he or him. In the first conversation, we've learned she, which is also pronounced 她. Yeah, the Chinese pronunciation of he and she are both 她. So, if I ask someone, 他是谁? And without writing the sentence down, the other person will not be able to tell is 他 a he or she. The gender is unknown. There is no information about it in the sentence. If we want to know the gender, then we have to ask, is 他 a man or woman? It's kind of like you say, my friend are coming here. We don't know if the friend is a he or she, unless we ask, is your friend a man or a woman? 同学 it's a noun, means classmate. 朋友 it's a noun, means friend. The original tone of the second character in this word is the third tone. It's pronounced 有, but in this word, it's pronounced in light tone. 朋友. Now we'll learn Pinyin rules. The first one is about yu. When the letter yu or a final begins with the yu, follows with the initials ji, qi, or xi, the 2 dots on the top of yu should be removed. Let's read these pinyins 居、区、须、撅、缺、削、均、均、勋、捐、圈、宣. However, if U follows the letter N and L, then the two dots should not be removed. In the first tone, these two pinyins are pronounced nu and lu. And why is it like this? Because the initials N and L can be followed with the final U. The pinyins are nu and lu, but the initials ji, qi, xi cannot be followed by the finals u, ue, un, or uan. Those combinations does not exist in Chinese Pinyin, which means there is no characters being read in those ways. The second reason is that it is easier to write the letter U instead of writing two more dots on the top of it. Also, in China, the keyboard layout is the standard American keyboard layout. There is no U on the keyboard. If you want to type U, you need to press the letter V instead. Because in Chinese Pinyin, there is no letter V. That's why we use V to replace U instead. Here, it's another rule of Pinyin. When the initials zh, ch, sh, r, z, c, s are followed by the final I, then the I is voiceless. Let's read these pinyins. Zh, ch, sh, r, z, c, s. The final letter I is pronounced yi in Chinese. If the final I is pronounced, and these pinyins would be pronounced zhi, chi, shi, ri, zi, ci, si. No, they are wrong. Forget it. Okay? Okay? The last one. As we've learned previously, we know that the initial Y have the same pronunciation as the letter I in Chinese. Both are pronounced yi. So the pinyin yi in Chinese is pronounced yi. Similarly, W is pronounced wu. U is also pronounced wu. And the pinyin W, U is also pronounced wu. Pretty easy, right? Now we'll learn how do we ask a question with shui, who. Let's first read these sentences. 谁是李月？他是谁？他是谁？ Regarding 谁 who, how do we ask a question with who? Let's look at the answers of these questions. The first one, 谁是李月 literally means who is 李月? The answer, 她是李月 she is 李月 The second one, 她是谁 literally it means she is who? The answer, 她是李月 she is 李月 The third one, 他是谁 he is who? The answer, 他是陈老师 he is teacher Chen. Okay, I believe you find out that The word order of asking a question with shui is the same as it is in its answer, just like we've learned in previous lessons about what and ma. Shui is the same. You just replace the part you want to ask by who, shui, and then it's a question. The interrogative pronoun na, which. Let's read these sentences first. 哪本书？哪个人？你是哪国人？ We have two new words in this part. The first one, 本, it's a mirror word for books. 个 is also a mirror word. It's a general mirror word in Chinese. It's the most common used mirror word in Chinese. You must memorize it. The character 哪 has two meanings. The first meaning is which. The second meaning is where. In this lesson, we are learning the first meaning, which. The word order of asking a question with the 哪 in Chinese is also different compared with English sentences. Let's look at the answers of these sentences. The first one, 哪本书? Which book? 这本书 This book. The second one, 哪个人? Which person? 这个人 This person. Okay, these two, the word order is just like it is in English. The third one, 你是哪国人? Literally, it means you are which country person? The answer, 我是中国人 I'm Chinese. The word order of asking a question with 哪 is the same as you ask a question with 什么 what, 吗 yes or no question, and 谁 who. The word order of the question is always like it is in a declarative sentence. You just replace the part that you want to ask by 哪, then it's a question. It's pretty simple, right? Let's continue. The interrogative pronoun 呢. Let's first read these sentences. 他叫李月，他呢？我是美国人，他呢？我不是老师，我是学生，你呢？ The character 呢 has several meanings. In this lesson, the interrogative particle 呢 is used after a noun or pronoun forming a question about the situation mentioned previously. Like the male 他呢 what about him? The female 她呢 what about her? 你呢 what about you? You just add somebody or something in front of the interrogative particle 呢, then it means what about somebody or something. Pretty easy, right? Okay, the last one, the structural particle 的. As usual, let's read these sentences first. 李月是我的老师，这是他的书。他不是我的同学，他是我的朋友。这是他的爸爸。The structure of noun a pronoun followed by 的 followed by another noun indicates possession. In English, you use a apostrophe followed by the letter s to indicate possession. 的 functions as the same. But when the noun following 的 is a term of kinship or indicates a person, 的 can be omitted. I'll explain it in the future lessons. Now, you just remember 的 is like apostrophe plus s to express possession. Okay? Pretty easy, right? Reading practice. Please read after me. 你是哪国人？你叫什么名字？你爸爸叫什么名字？你的中国朋友是谁？你的汉语老师是哪国人？他是乔布斯，他是美国人。他是马云，他是中国人。他叫马斯克，他不是我的老师，他是我的朋友。他叫阿西莫夫，他是我们的老师。Okay, that's all for this lesson. 谢谢，下节课再见。If you like my video, please do give me a thumbs up and subscribe the channel.